flow beats on the track.
Good afternoon. As I come before you today via this virtual platform, I extend words of welcome on behalf of the Board of Directors of the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce. In early March, we became aware of COVID-19 and the health risk impacting our country. We immediately made a decision to reschedule our annual policy event to a later date, thinking that it would be as simple as waiting a few weeks for things to return to normal. Since making that decision and moving into what is the here and now, we have come to the realization that is what was normal was not to be anymore. History has shown us that we as New Orleanians are a resilient people and that we can overcome any obstacle that is placed before us. But I think that we can collectively agree that this was not on our radar of being experienced during our lifetime, let alone having to define the transformation of society and the way it interacts, from the simplest of gestures, including shaking hands, to that of transitioning networking and educational training to virtual platforms. But as we have seen over the past few months, we evolve. Throughout our meeting today, you will hear from leaders, representatives, and subject matter experts in their respective fields. Additionally, we will share a few member spotlights as we continue to encourage deliberate spending and supporting our community. We will now have a prayer by Bishop Tom Watson of the Watson Memorial Teaching Ministries.
Greetings, and thank you so much for having me to partake in such a wonderful celebration and a wonderful event sponsored by the New Orleans Black Chamber. I want to personally thank Dr. Margaret Reshort for having me to be connected to this event. And I'm here to let you know that I'm excited about the history. I'm excited about the future as it relates to small businesses in terms of African American people in our region. And I am grateful that the power of the living God is about to be invoked in this prayer moment. So I want you to bow your heads with me and begin to connect spiritually as we seek God with a word of prayer. Let us pray. Father, in the name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, I come to do what the Bible says in 1 Thessalonians 5 and 17. It says, pray without ceasing. And it also says in that same chapter, in everything we ought to give thanks. So I thank you for this moment of prayer. I thank you for the connection that is being made through social media to keep the vision of this great organization moving forward. I pray for every member. I pray for its staff. I pray for its volunteers. And I pray that the vision will continue to be unfolded. Of course, the Bible says in Proverbs 29 and 18, without a vision, the people perish. So I pray that this vision will go to a whole new dimension, even in the midst of this pandemic, in the midst of this crisis, in the midst of the turbulent times in which we're living across the globe. We need each other. We don't lack resources. We lack togetherness. So I pray for a spirit of unity. I pray for a spirit of peace. I pray for the joy of the Lord to come forward through these great proceedings. Now keep all of us protected from the tricks of the enemy. Keep us healthy, keep us safe, keep our families and our businesses safe and sound from every fault and failure. We thank you in advance for every good and perfect gift comes from above. It's in Jesus Christ's name I pray. Amen and amen.
Good afternoon. And welcome. On April 4th, 1967, in his Riverside speech, Dr. King said, and I paraphrase, in this unfolding conundrum of life and history, this is no time for apathy or complacency. This is a time for vigorous and positive actions. Good afternoon again, and welcome to our virtual annual policy meeting. Thank you, Bishop Watson. Thank you, Kalisha. I am Margaret Montgomery Reshort, Chair of the Board of Directors. I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude and appreciation to our staff, to our Board of Directors, our sponsors, partners, and most of all, our members, for your continued support and commitment. During this unprecedented time, we have continued to serve our membership to ensure that we are providing advocacy, programming, resources, and support that is needed. NORBCC represents a collective voice of approximately 500 Black-owned businesses throughout the greater New Orleans region. Our members range from home-based businesses, retail establishments, professional service consulting, construction, manufacturing, and independent-owned corporations. While 32.6% of Louisiana's population is Black, Black-owned businesses comprise only 22.7% of all businesses and capture only 0.52% of the state's total receipts according to the U.S. Census. In this current climate, NORBCC is focused on promoting access and opportunities for small and emerging Black-owned businesses. We are engaged in discussions and meetings with key business leaders of major corporations and anchor institutions, the city and the state, with regard to diversity, equity, and inclusion. We are also engaged in discussions around livable wages, affordable housing, healthcare disparities, and education, as well as police reforms. One thing this pandemic has revealed: small businesses is the lifeblood of this nation. In June of this year, we published a call to action. We recognize we must move from division and debate to steadfast commitments with sustainable solutions. Solutions with measurable outcomes, accompanied by financial investment from all levels of government, as well as major corporations and philanthropic organizations. Creating an environment of diversity and inclusion with equity through listening, learning, and acting intentionally is how substantive systemic change will happen. This is a pivotal moment in our country's history. The actions and commitments we make as a people and a business community will foster the growth and development of the economy at the local, state, and national levels. The New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce is committed to advocating for equitable policies and ensuring access to meaningful opportunities that sustain and promote the success of Black-owned businesses in the New Orleans region. This is a critical time for all. We have 94 days before the presidential election and several local elections. In the words of the late Honorable John Lewis, the vote is the most powerful, nonviolent change agent you have in a democratic society. So exercise your right to vote and complete the 2020 census. Remember, this is not a moment. This is a movement. Join with us as we stand in solidarity. Again, welcome and thank you for joining today's virtual policy meeting. At this time, I would like to welcome a woman who really needs no introduction because she is in the forefront, leading with courage through this most challenging and critical time for our city, state, and nation. Please welcome our mayor, the Honorable LaToya Cantrell.
All right, good afternoon, New Orleans Black Chamber. I hope you can see me. I'm not showing up from where I can see myself, nor you. But I wanted to, thank you so much for allowing me this time just to give you a real welcome. I am taking just a day or two off, and I told Ms. Kalisha that what you all mean to the city of New Orleans, I absolutely have to make time. But more importantly, I want to thank the Black Chamber for being unwavering in your support of me and my administration, particularly through this COVID-19 pandemic. One of the one chamber that was with me, again, unwavering, is that of this one, and I do appreciate that. You know, like me, that the city of New Orleans has been disproportionately impacted by COVID-19. We have lost over 459 of our residents in our city, and over 410 of them are from the Black community here in the city of New Orleans. We're continuing to make progress, but we have to ensure, in order to stay on this track, that I've had to kind of put some more restrictions in place so that our kids can get back into the classroom, and hopefully by Labor Day. But as we've been moving through the pandemic, one thing that hasn't stopped, that's the infrastructure work on the streets and throughout the communities of the city of New Orleans. Since March of 2020, we've executed over $300 million in projects that are on the ground. And this week coming, and I know Kalisha has made this available, the Industry Day is happening again for another $288 million that will be executed for this year. Central to that has been the partnership with the New Orleans Black Chamber, who has been making sure that our industry leaders all throughout our city are knowledgeable of the opportunities and also play a real role in making sure, again, that our folks get their fair share. You know, we have a lot of work to do, and we're continuing to do that. But I just want you to know that I'm very much focused on our people who we have right now. Over 79,000 of our residents are and have been receiving UI insurance, unemployment insurance benefits. And today we know will be the last day of that federal allocation. But my administration will continue to push very hard at the federal level to get a second phase of the CARES Act dollars that will come directly to the city of New Orleans and of course through the state of Louisiana to help our people. Also, as it relates to rental assistance, we've executed over $3 million to meet our people where they are. We're continuing to do that even in the space of home ownership because our people are suffering even as relates to their ability to pay their mortgage. And we also understand assessments have gone out and many of our residents are appealing their assessments. But at the same time, on the administrative side, we're really looking at ways that we can cut costs and get the bear out of our people's pockets. So we have a ways to go, but we're getting there. And I just want you to know that I appreciate your partnership. I depend on your partnership. And I just look forward to making progress. And as we do that, we're going to pivot our people into growth sectors and workforce opportunities in ways that we knew we needed to do pre-COVID. But this is our opportunity and really an obligation that we have to grow other sectors, diversifying our economy in our city. And that's what absolutely we're doing. Your workforce development arm has been leading in the state of Louisiana that did the best growth as it relates to 2019 and had remarkable ratings the first quarter of 2020. But we're going to restructure the use of our dislocated worker dollars, maximizing our opportunities to get more dollars for training and development opportunities for our people. STEM, we're going to play stronger to our asset as it relates to STEM in our community, being absolutely bolder in that. There's so much more to come in that space. I wish I can share it all with you this afternoon, but not only do I have the time, but we're working out some things prior to it going public. But let me tell you, STEM is where it is. Space is where it is. And the city of New Orleans will be right in the center of it all as we grow in that era. So with that, thank you so much for this opportunity. And thank you so much for your partnership. We have a ways to go, but we can only get there by going together.
I would first like to thank our board chairwoman, Dr. Margaret Montgomery Reshort. Her leadership and expertise has proven to be invaluable as we have grown over the past years. And thank you to Mayor Cantrell for always being supportive, a partner, and an effective leader for our city. We stand with you and are encouraged by your ability to evaluate the challenging situations that we are facing and provide solutions that require health and safety initiatives and ensuring that they are followed. We are also proud to work with you on issues regarding equity, inclusion, and the utilization of our local business community. As we explore the data being provided by agencies that manage the PPP and EIDL grant loan processes, we were made aware that many of our minority and micro businesses were not able to participate or were denied due to various reasons. We are happy to have worked with the Treasurer's Office to spread the word about the recently launched Main Street Recovery Grant Program. Please welcome Treasurer John Schroeder as he provides an overview of the program and the information needed to apply.
Really happy here today to share with you guys what's going on in the Department of Treasury concerning the Main Street Recovery Grant Program. This is a program that the legislature enacted a bill, now law, that the governor supported, obviously, that will take $275 million from the CARES Act money, which was part of a $1.8 billion grant that came down from the feds to Louisiana, and the legislature and the governor have decided to use $275 million of it to help small businesses throughout Louisiana. This is a reimbursement program. Although you'll get it in a form of a grant, you do have to prove that you had expenses, COVID-related expenses, between March 1 and whenever you file your claim. They can't be future expenses. They have to be actual expenses that you have incurred. There's several things that you need to do to make sure that you qualify. And before I forget, you can go to louisianamainstreet.com and look at our website, or you can call the call center at 888-795-4947. That's manned Monday through Friday from 8 to 5, and that will change as the program kicks off on July 28th. For the first 21 days of the program, only businesses that have received no compensation or no aid from the feds, either government or personal, meaning that if you've received any aid from your insurance company, then you wouldn't qualify within the first 21 days. The first 21 days are set aside for small businesses to make a claim in that 21-day period that have received no aid. What's the definition of a small business? It's 50 or less, according to the statute that was passed. There are some particular things that you have to have done or one of to qualify. You would have had to file your taxes in 2018 or 2019, or going to file them in 2020. You had to have been in business by January 1, 2020 to qualify. You also, another major thing you have to qualify is this is geared towards small businesses, which is why they call it Main Street Recovery Program. So you have to have a location that you can, what I call brick and mortar. I mean, you have to have a location that your customers and or your employees come to conduct business. If you don't have that, then you don't qualify. So you need to look at those qualifications, start getting those receipts together, talk with your accountant, your CPA, your bookkeeper, or whoever does your accounting. So as I said a moment ago, the first 21 days are set aside for businesses that have received no aid. We're also setting aside $40 million for the first 60 days of the program for minority, women, or veteran-owned businesses, which means you'll have first crack at $40 million up until the first 60 days. And again, you'll be eligible for that for the first 60 days, but you still have to abide by the 21-day rule. The first 21 days would be minority, women, veteran-owned businesses who've received no aid in the first 21 days. After that, anybody can apply. So it's a first come, first served basis. I tell people don't wait. As of today, I think they told me this morning over 10,000 people have registered to receive communications from the Department of Treasury. Get things ready. We want people from across the state to participate. We're looking for partners in our outreach because we believe that no money is really going to be the answer to reaching these small businesses. You're talking about 25,000 applicants as 4.6+ million people in Louisiana. This is really a grassroots kind of thing. I'm relying heavily on the legislature, the business groups, community organizations, especially in the rural, poor areas of the state. Places like New Orleans, Jefferson Parish, Lafayette, East Baton Rouge, they're gonna get their word out. But we're trying to. My goal is to try to have claims made in every parish in this state. We're really hitting it heavy. We've already reached hundreds and hundreds of people and businesses. We can use your help and your support on our outreach. The more money we save, the more money that we can put in the checkbooks of businesses across Louisiana. So with that, if you'd like to reach me personally, you can call my office. My personal phone number is 225-342-0016. And somebody always answers that phone, sometimes way too late at night, but I'm always available to help if you have any questions. I do want to thank the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce for inviting me to visit with you guys today. Remember, this launched on July 28th. The money's not going to last long, so get your applications in.
We've just heard some valuable information regarding the Main Street Recovery Program from Treasurer John Schroeder. Please take a moment to participate in the brief poll that's on your screen. We're trying to make sure that you guys are engaged throughout this process and are aware of the pertinent details and information that you need in order to have your business grow. Thank you for providing your answers. It is our hope that each and every one of you have taken time to visit the Main Street Recovery website. And if you have not done so, please do so soon. As the treasurer stated, the funds will be running out shortly. We are proud to have a few feature spotlights from our membership to share with you today. Our first member spotlight is Back of Town Coffee Shop, a place where you are made to feel at home the minute you walk through the door.
Welcome, I'm Jessica Knox, co-owner of Back of Town Coffee Parlor.
Hi, and I'm Alonzo Knox.
Back of Town is a coffee shop located at 301 Basin Street, Suite 1. We sell coffee, tea, pastries, as well as soup, sandwiches, and salad.
We chose Back of Town because of the historical significance of it. Back of Town was once known as Storyville, one of few legal red light districts in the U.S. In Back of Town, you can find all the latest in news, fashion, current events, as well as live music and jazz.
And that's why we decided to call our coffee shop Back of Town, because we just wanted to bring that type of vibe back to the area where one could come and listen to music or sit and converse with friends or even just brainstorm about their business. And so we named the coffee shop Back of Town just so people can have that Back of Town feeling. Everyone is welcome here.
Something's always growing in Back of Town. We look forward to seeing you come.
Thank you.
The Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses program provides business skills to entrepreneurs.
It was the first program that really brought together all the skills that I needed to work on and the knowledge I needed to gain to run my business.
See how small businesses are driving economic progress in their communities.
Working for Entergy New Orleans means powering our community
and taking care of our environment.
I'm proud of that. Entergy has one of the cleanest generating fleets in the country.
And we're becoming cleaner.
We're bringing renewable energy to the power grid.
Adding 90 megawatts of solar power to our energy mix. And rooftop solar.
We're helping customers conserve energy.
And preserve our environment.
This is our future.
So I'm doing everything I can.
Because together,
we power life.
We are so happy to be able to include some pointed messages from our sponsors and other member businesses. We are also proud to have Entergy New Orleans as our Small Business Partner of the Year. In the prior ad, you've seen that their commitment to our community is one that is invaluable. And we are also excited to have Mr. David Ellis, CEO of Entergy New Orleans, share his insight and core commitment to our business community and local stakeholders.
Good afternoon. I'm David Ellis, President and CEO of Entergy New Orleans. I'd like to take a moment to thank Kalisha Garrett, President, and the Board of Directors of the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce for the opportunity to deliver a few remarks. Being here with you today is important to me, and I'm happy that we were able to pivot from an in-person event to a virtual event. We've all had to pivot and change how we do business in some way as we're living and working in a new normal. Entergy New Orleans is a proud and committed community partner. For more than 30 years, we've taken steps toward increasing our supplier diversity program. In fact, Entergy was the first electric utility to sign the NAACP's Declaration of Fair Share Principles, which addresses supplier diversity, philanthropic giving, upward mobility, and board representation. In 2019, we spent more than $720 million with over 725 diverse firms. These firms support all aspects of our business, including nuclear operations, power generation, transmission line construction, corporate services, and other areas. We're pleased to say that a local minority business will be performing some renovations at the Entergy New Orleans offices. Those renovations are key to Entergy New Orleans becoming more agile, and they're very innovative, and will help us to provide more efficient services to our customers. As we continue to make investments to improve reliability, like investments in smart meters, new, cleaner, and more efficient power generation, as well as upgrades to the grid, we will continue to look at opportunities for local minority businesses to participate. During this pivotal time in our country, Entergy's commitment to diversity is stronger than ever, and we're working hard to create a more diverse workforce that is reflective of our customer base. We understand the impact that COVID-19 is having on our local business community. So we responded by establishing deferred payment arrangements for commercial businesses, thereby assisting with short-term cash flow concerns. We've continued with implementation of our 2020 infrastructure investment plan that will put local contractors to work. And we're hosting informational meetings with local leaders to provide valuable information regarding resources available through the CARES Act. We also established a website providing information to assist you in making decisions impacting your businesses. The site is available by visiting www.entergy.com/COVID-19/NOLA resources. Thank you for inviting me to speak with you today. We do want to hear from you. If you're looking for more information about possible business opportunities with Entergy, I encourage you to visit entergy.com/supplier diversity. Again, that's entergy.com/supplier diversity. Small businesses power our economy, and we want to continue serving as your partner in business, because together we power life. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ellis, for sharing your remarks regarding the current commitment of Entergy New Orleans and the investment in our community, and more specifically, your commitment to diversity and inclusion. As we see the next poll on the screen, please take a moment to share your rankings regarding your interactions that you have with supplier diversity as it relates to opportunities offered or those you have participated in. Many of our partner organizations and municipalities share in efforts to promote inclusion and require participation of diverse suppliers for their procurement opportunities. Inclusion procurement is the model that we are requiring our partners and members to adopt as we build the capacity of our small and local businesses. Thank you for participating in this poll. We should ensure an inclusive model is in place so that our businesses are able to have an equitable inclusion in procurement plans. Now we will hear from Ms. Sharik Richardson, CEO of DIMG.
Hi, I'm Sharik Richardson, founder of Digital Innovation Media Group. And who we are is we are a high-touch web and digital marketing agency that serves small businesses and organizations. And so the way that we help our clients is through WordPress web design, whether it's a fresh design or it's a redesign of what you already have. We also do search engine optimization and social media management. And the difference between us and other agencies is that we are not only a done-for-you agency, but we are a done with you as well. So we also consult and train our clients on how to make simple tweaks to their websites without doing too much damage. And we also help you plan and strategize your social media strategy month by month. So that way you always know what's going on, but you're always making sure that that product or service that you want to promote is being focused on when you want us to do so. We realize that right now with the pandemic that there's so many things going on. So many businesses have shut down because the face-to-face communication is gone. Our goal is always helping our clients to continue to grow, continue to generate leads, and continue to grow in visibility and brand awareness by helping you really perfect and master your online presence. So that is having a continuity between your website and your social media presence. So that way clients will still know who you are, what you do, and what your story is. And so we're very blessed that we're able to help business owners, especially now, do that. So thank you so much to the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber for this opportunity. If you have any questions about us, we're at digitalinnovationmg.com. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharik. In 2020, our focus was on identifying business trends that pointed us to industries that were up and coming, as well as those that our member base expressed interest in learning about. There has been a heightened awareness and influx of businesses that have evolved into the manufacturing and retailing of products in the cannabis industry. While it is one that is new to our area, as a community, many of our businesses are not aware of the opportunities to participate or regulations regarding doing so. To share with us today, we have Interim Commissioner Ernest Leger of the Louisiana Alcohol Tobacco Control to shed some light on the regulations and opportunities to participate in the industry.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ernest Leger. I am the Acting Commissioner for the Louisiana Alcohol and Tobacco Control. I want to thank the Black Chamber of Commerce and its wonderful Executive Director, Kalisha Garrett, for inviting the agency to take part in this effort. I personally support and appreciate efforts like this to network and share information, especially when the world and our communities face so many challenges today. If you are not familiar with the ATC, I'd just like to take a moment in order to briefly describe who we are and what we do. Our agency is responsible for the regulation of alcohol, tobacco, and vape products at every level of commerce. We regulate the manufacturers who make the products, the wholesalers who distribute the products, and the retailers who, of course, sell the products. And we do this statewide for over 17,000 permits with a little over 60 employees. You've heard of doing more with less. We have perfected this practice. And oh, by the way, in 2019, our state legislature gifted the agency with the responsibility for managing retail CBD permits, which is actually the subject that I've been asked to share a few thoughts on today. More specifically, I was asked to address recent legislation affecting the sale of CBD products in the state and perhaps share a few thoughts on the underrepresentation of minorities in the industry and how to take advantage of current opportunities. However, in order to appreciate where we are with CBD in Louisiana, I think it's necessary we should take a look back and track where we've been. In 2018, the federal farm bill was affected by our Congress and signed by the president. It effectively permitted the use of CBD nationwide by removing industrial hemp from the Schedule I Controlled Dangerous Substance list. Industrial hemp is derived from the Cannabis sativa L species of plant, which is exclusive of the genus Cannabis that meets the definition of marijuana as defined in Louisiana Revised Statute. In June 2019, our governor signed House Bill number 491 into law. This bill formally authorized the sale of hemp-derived CBD in the state and provided that it was legal if the CBD products contain less than 0.03% THC, which is identical to the national regulations. Per House Bill 491, the regulation of CBD will come from the Department of Agriculture with respect to the manufacturing effort. Louisiana's Department of Health will manage the label approval and testing, and the ATC is responsible for the retail effort. There were important limitations within House Bill 491. While the legislation allowed for CBD, it specifically did not allow for the sale of food, drinks, or alcohol, or any smokable substance which contained CBD. And those substances remained banned until the last legislative effort. Following the legalization of CBD, Louisiana Alcohol and Tobacco Control approved over 1,500 businesses within the state for the right to sell CBD products at a retail level. So now that we know where we've been, let's talk about where we are. In the last legislative session, our governor ended up signing a bill into law which updated and adjusted regulations for the state's industrial hemp and CBD industry. Some of the most notable changes are that the ATC used to regulate and issue permits for both CBD retailers and CBD wholesalers. The ATC also issued temporary 3-day CBD special event permits. Now the ATC no longer regulates wholesalers, and the special event permit has changed as well to a yearly permit. I'll talk a little bit more about that later. The new law created 2 types of retail CBD permits. The remote seller, and as I mentioned before, the annual special event permit. Remote sellers do not require a physical location anymore. They include any business that is selling online or through the internet. A permit, however, would be required for any website or domain name. The CBD annual special event permit is interesting now. You no longer are required or restricted to 3 days. These permits can be issued to holders of CBD dealer or CBD remote seller permits. It authorizes those businesses to sell CBD products at events located outside of their permitted location. It effectively removed the necessity for issuing the 3-day permit that had been previously the policy under the initial legislation. Another change that was put in place over this last legislative session was that the new law includes language that bans all smokable hemp products, except for rolling papers. This ban on inhalable hemp products is likely a preemptive assistance for law enforcement agencies, which oftentimes struggle in determining or discerning the difference between illicit THC-laced products and federally legal CBD-rich hemp flower, which is, as I mentioned, now legal within the state of Louisiana. Another change is that this act added civil penalties to operating without a CBD permit, includes now the commissioner's authority to suspend or revoke a permit if you have a habitual offender or a business that jeopardizes public safety. Act 344 also included language that CBD products may be sold to only persons over the age of 18. And it also prohibits the ATC from adding additional rules or regulations or fees or new permits. Also from requiring criminal records checks, proof of Louisiana residency, proof of lease or ownership of the property, or a diagram. And this should streamline the process and make it a lot easier to obtain your retail CBD permit. The new legislation now gives a distinct outline of the industry, including license requirements, application and permit fees, regulations for the labeling and testing of CBD products, as well as regulations for other industrial hemp type products. Hemp is used for a wide range of different things, and it gave some clarity as to what is included in terms of the ATC's regulatory authority over CBD and what's not. This legislation also sets penalties for violating these new policies. There is a maximum fine of $300 for the first offense. For a second offense, there is a maximum fine of $1,000, and a third and subsequent convictions will really impact your wallet, as you can be fined up to $5,000. So now that you know all that there is to know about CBD in Louisiana, let's discuss a little bit about how to gain access to this industry, which is continuing to grow nationally and locally. Interestingly, Louisiana, the process is a lot simpler and easier to engage by anyone interested in getting involved in this business. You'll find in other states that CBD is highly regulated and limited in terms of its outlets. You have to go to a dispensary in order to be able to achieve these in order to get these products. We talked a little bit earlier. We've got right now over 1,500 different places you can go. There are no dispensaries, and each retail location makes it easy for you to access the product. Here also, we have an application process which can be found on the ATC website, along with frequently asked questions and step-by-step instructions on what's needed to be completed. But we think that we have a process that is streamlined, not very complicated, and very user-friendly. Anybody can engage, receive that permit provided you meet the minimum qualifications, which is also on our website. Now, unfortunately, with respect to manufacturing opportunities, or if you are interested in taking raw hemp and excreting the oil that is used for CBD products, you got a little bit more bureaucracy, a lot more investment initially, and a lot more regulation to deal with. And those are handled by the Department of Agriculture and the Louisiana Department of Health, respectfully. I can't really help you very much with that. However, if you are interested in receiving more information with respect to getting involved in these activities, our office has partnerships with these other state agencies, and we are more than willing to help you and direct you to appropriate individuals to get you the help you need. I personally can be reached anytime at ernest.leger@atc.la.gov. I encourage you to reach out if you have questions. Me and the staff here are public servants and here to assist in any way that we can. That concludes my presentation. I hope you have a great day.
I would like to thank Commissioner Leger for the thorough explanation provided today. I can say that their office is always ready and willing to help in any way that they can. Our next member spotlight will be brought to you by Ms. Jocelyn Frank.
Hi, I'm Jocelyn Gossaran Frank, Realtor Consultant and co-owner of World Properties International, Russell Frank Realty Group, LLC. My husband and I decided to start our own real estate company approximately 34 years ago to assist first-time home buyers in purchasing their home and becoming a part of the American dream. We specialize in residential, commercial, investment, and property management. And because we've been around for so long, we do think that we know this New Orleans market quite well. We are very committed to working with those individuals who are looking for their first home, their second home, investment property, and once again, to make their dream come true. Please give us a call at 504-368-9035, World Properties International, Russell Frank Realty Group, LLC. Thank you so much and continue to be safe.
Thank you, Ms. Frank. And now to connect the dots, showing us how it is done, we are proud to have Dr. Shonda Macias. She has pioneered this industry in both the growth and manufacturing industries, and is also one of 2 females that have growth licenses in more than 1 state. Her business model includes a focus on social justice reform and an effort to increase the number of minorities participating in the industry. We are happy to have Dr. Macias to join us today.
Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Shonda Macias. I'm a biomedical researcher and the CEO of Valera Holistic, the partner to Southern University in producing medical marijuana products. Thank you for joining us today. And I just want to give you a little bit of background about myself. I went to a HBCU. I went to Howard University for undergrad and graduate school, where I focused my research on cancer. Specifically, I focused on prostate cancer because it was an ailment that impacted our community. And so when I started to study that more, what I realized is that there was an alternate medication out there that people said had medicinal beliefs and benefits. And I said, well, let me take a look at that, let me study it. And then when I brought it up to my advisor, because the impact that it has had on our community, the war on drugs, it wasn't really grasped at that time. But that's when I realized as an independent researcher, it really had medical benefits. So I was recruited directly out of Howard University to Colgate-Palmolive Company. So then as a cell biologist, I go into corporate America. And in corporate America, I acquire over 10 world patents, 3 US patents, scientific compilations, and I'm studying infectious diseases and producing medicines that can help with those ailments and conditions. While I was there, it was very interesting is that they decided to push me in upper management, and I went back to business school for my MBA. So I completed my MBA in supply chain management, and what I decided from that standpoint was to go back into the research at Howard University. So I acquired close to $10 million in grants from the National Institutes of Health, the National Science Foundation, and the Department of Energy. I would take scientists, I would take medical doctors and advanced undergraduates to different places in Africa to study natural medicines. And there was an opportunity that came up, which was to write an application for a medical marijuana dispensary in Washington, D.C. I jumped at the opportunity. It was everything I could imagine that aligned perfectly with my background. And so I did that, and applying for an application, you actually have to write the application and you have to secure the real estate. So I went out in Washington, D.C., DuPont Circle, found a perfect location, signed the lease, and paid rent for 2 years. And finally, when I'm in Africa, I get a notice that I have won the license to basically dispense medical cannabis. So I became the first African-American woman in the nation to have that license. And I was so super excited. And I went back to start to operate. And my landlord said to me, no, you cannot use this premises to do so. And he terminated my lease. Now, this was one of many barriers that I faced in the cannabis industry. And because of the rules and regulations of our program, we weren't able to relocate. It took another 2 years before I was able to get the landlord to then allow me to use the facility and to operate. But I never let that one discouragement to just stop the whole process, because I know this was something I was definitely destined to do. Now, what I will say in that is that once I was able to finance it through my own monies, because that's another challenge we have in this industry, which is that we don't have access to banking. We can't use bank accounts, we can't get loans, and it's hard enough for us to get loans as an African-American woman by itself, but then you put cannabis on top of it, and it's almost impossible. But besides that, we're still treated like a federally illegal operation, so we don't have access. And so to run all these different business ventures with myself, I had to use what I had as my only source of income, which was my house. And so I mortgaged my house, which I did lose in this process, but I gained so much more. And when I say that, is that learning what the cannabis industry had to offer was very unique in its own way. Now, let me give you a little bit of how this is so unique. We know that there's vertical operations where there's the growers, the processors, and the dispensers, or what we call the retail operations. And so some states will allow you to just have one of the license or all of the license, or they'll have two connected, or one just by itself. So it's all state dependent. And now, like I said previously, how can you be a part of this industry if you want to go into cultivating, processing, or dispensing? So when you think about that, you have to decide what resources you have available and the capital that is required to be able to produce the application. And so those were the challenges or the structure of the cannabis business. Now, recently in 2018, the Farm Bill passed, which said that cannabis can be legalized as long as it's less than 0.3% of THC, and that is called hemp. And so the barriers to hemp or the hemp industry is much more open. Now, they still offer a lot of the same medicinal benefits, but lack the THC or some of the pain relieving benefits that you'll see in cannabis, but also industrial hemp has so many other utilities to it. The hemp industry in itself is huge. So one in one, you have to decide which one is better for you. Some people can't get through the barriers of medical cannabis and then will pivot into the hemp industry, still focusing on the medicinal benefits. So that's important. Another thing you need to decide on when you're engaging into this industry is that you need to know where to start. A lot of people ask me the question, where's the most lucrative place to begin? And what I'm here to tell you is start where you are. Be your authentic self and use your core competencies and just pivot it into the cannabis industry. So when I think about, oh, I'm an accountant, my thing is that continue to be an accountant, but specialize in cannabis accounting and master the use of the 280E tax law. Know how to manipulate it, know what the idiosyncrasies are with it. If you are in marketing and sales, know that, no, we can't use Facebook to advertise, but what are unique ways that we can get our audience educated about our programs? Or whatever that looks like, start where you are right now. So with that being said, I want to say that this industry is completely open, and I'm inviting you into this space. And the reason why is that I know the financial benefits. I understand that our impact in this industry where we create it, we need our voices to be heard. And I know that if more people come into this industry, Black and brown like ourselves, that we can purely dominate and be, so productive and just bring this resources that we'll have produced to our future generations. So when you think about why I partner with Southern University, I wanted to work with a historically Black institution like my own personal mission. I wanted to treat patients medically, bring resources or even research to the medical industry, and more importantly, educate future generations of how they can create their space in this industry. God bless you all and welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Macias, for sharing that journey with us today. Please take a moment to complete our third and final poll for today. Now that you have heard some information regarding this industry, I hope that it has intrigued you to learn more. We have just seen the fruits of labor from cultivation to medical uses for CBD. As we continue to highlight and share cutting-edge information, we implore you to lean in, get educated, share the news, and help us pivot your business to expand into industries that we have never considered before. As we see your results on the screen, and from the words of Dr. Macias, please look into ways that you can take what you have learned before and place it into a new industry and expand and diversify your income stream. Our last member spotlight ties it all in: family business, legacy, and innovation. We are proud to have Mr. Rustin Henry share a little story about H&W Pharmacy.
Hi, my name is Rustin Henry, owner of H&W Drugstore. Let's talk about the H&W Drugstore story. H&W Drugstore was started by my father, Sterling Henry, and his partner, Wesley Watkins, in the lower Ninth Ward in 1963. It operated until 1999 when I took it over, until Hurricane Katrina devastated our business in our region. But we came back strong. We reopened in 2011, and in 2017, we embarked on this medical marijuana journey. In 2018, we were awarded the first medical marijuana permit in the state of Louisiana. The parishes we service are St. Bernard Parish, Jefferson Parish, Plaquemine Parish, and Orleans Parish. The product we dispense is actually a sublingual tincture because Louisiana does not permit anything that's smokable and edible. When I say sublingual tincture, it's a liquid that you put underneath your tongue. In addition to it, at all our retail locations, we stock the CBD over-the-counter products. At H&W Drugstore, we offer fast, friendly, and courteous service. Check us out. Give us a call. At H&W Drugstore, we help people get their lives back. Thank you.
Whether online, virtual, or in the classroom, Delgado is ready for you. We're ready to ensure safety for everyone, to clean all spaces, to educate from any distance. We're Delgado Community College.
And we're ready.
Hello, everyone, and good afternoon. Happy Friday. My name is Krista Pouncey Dyson, and I currently serve as the Chamber's Executive Committee Vice Chairwoman. It is my honor today to highlight our 2020 Platinum Corporate and Gold sponsors. They are as follows. Our Platinum sponsor is the Four Seasons. Our corporate sponsors are Entergy, the Hyatt Regency New Orleans, Fox 8, NOLA Media Group, Cumulus Media, WWL-TV, and the Harris New Orleans Casino and Hotel. In our last category, our gold sponsors are AT&T, Delta Personnel, Capital One, Cox Communications, New Orleans and Company, the Port of New Orleans, Blue Cross Blue Shield, and the Business Council of New Orleans. Thank you for your continued support. We will be mailing out plaques in the coming weeks. Now we will move into a dynamic member spotlight from Ryan and Stephanie Burks, owners of Rycars Construction. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ryan Burks, President and Operations Manager of Rycars Construction.
And I'm Stephanie Burks, Vice President, and I'm on the administrative side of Rycars Construction here. Rycars was started in 2002. We named it Rycars because it's an acronym of Ryan, Caleb, Ariel, Brian, and Stephanie, our family members, which all three of our kids are now working with the company today.
You know, Rycars was started as a commercial roofing contractor, which is a specialty trade. We specialize in low slope and steep slope roofing. We do shingles, we do standing seam metal roofs, we do low slope where it be hot asphalt, cold adhesives, single ply membranes. And our specialty is that we focus on work for the government, whether it be state, local, or federal. One of the things that gives us a competitive advantage in our industry is that we self-perform all aspects of work that we do. We have skilled craftsmen, whether it be carpenters, whether it be sheet metal, whether it be roofing, and we think that's our strength. We cover a wide range of territory. We have offices here in Louisiana. We have an office in Atlanta, Georgia, and I have a new office in Austin, Texas. And so one of the things that's important to us, and one of the reasons why we started the company, is because we wanted to give breadth and credibility to
to minorities, specifically Black-owned contractors, that we do have skills, that we do have talent, that we can not only install the roofs, but we can do the estimating, we can do the management. We're a full service. We're really not dependent on anybody else except people that supply us materials. So we're thankful for an opportunity to share a little bit about ourselves and look forward to any opportunity that's presented to us.
Thank you.
Greetings, everyone. Hello, I am Chantel Green, Membership Chair of the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber. And thank you all for being here. Well, first of all, let me say a special thank you to all of our members and guests for taking time out of being here today. And to all of our members, let me say this to you. You are the lifeblood of our organization. We cannot thank you enough for your commitment and your contribution. We are very appreciative of your voice, your presence, and your business. Now, to those of you who are thinking about partnering with the Chamber, I just have a few key points I want to say about our Chamber that I love so much, because we are great advocacy. Our Black Chamber is a powerful influence in advocacy. We are strategically focused on promoting inclusivity, and we are the most supportive and inclusive community of Black businesses voicing equity. So with you partnering with us allows you to come in and use your voice, your gifts, your skills, and your talents to empower and sustain our organization. Yes, we want you and we need you. And let me say this pandemic is a great opportunity for us right now. So partnering with the Chamber, you will become a voice of strength to help make legislative change. I want you to understand that the Black Chamber makes changes from the top to help small local businesses right here in New Orleans and across the nation. Okay, so I'm asking you to be intentional. Come stand with us and collaborate and dedicate advocacy for equity and intentional economic inclusion when it comes to our Black Chamber. For more information, you can visit our website and even to fill out an application to become a member. You can visit us at norbchamber.org, or you can call Miss Sierra Harrison, our membership office coordinator, at 504-948-0991. Remember, you are valuable to us. Your voice is power. Be a change maker and come be a part of the Chamber. Stay safe and enjoy your day.
I love the enthusiasm, Chantel, and thank you so much for being the chair of our membership committee. As you can see, our membership, both member businesses and partner sponsors, span from startup to family-owned generational businesses. We hope that you have enjoyed our presenters and take away some valuable information regarding the commitment of our partners and vision of our business community to build a solid foundation and provide sustainable resources to preserve and grow our minority businesses. Please join us monthly as we provide educational webinars and training with our vast partners, sponsors, and technical assistance providers. Be sure to save that date for our March 2021 luncheon as we look forward to seeing you all next year. Thank you for attending our first of many virtual webinars. We have risen to the occasion and continue to deliver upon the vision and mission of the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce, and steadfast in our efforts to support our member businesses through this trying time. Our dedication is unwavering and our advocacy is ongoing. We will continue to ensure the growth and sustainability of minority businesses within our 10-parish region and welcome those of you participating today that are not members to join. We have the resources, we have the partnerships, and we have the infrastructure. What is needed is you. I want to also say thank you to those essential service providers, as well as our state federal, and local delegation for always keeping Louisiana first. And to those first responders who stay up around the clock to provide health and safety services to us, we join the NOLA Media Group to say thank you for your tireless efforts to keep us safe.